Impossible, parallel to incredible, physically untouchable, visibly unobtainable, impossible, incredible, untouchable.
Yes.
Hey,
What's up?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad we was able to make this work.
Absolutely. I'm very glad. Very glad. Really good to see your face.
Yeah, it's good to see you as well, man.
Man, it
I'm
was
trying to
good to
make
see you when you came here. So,
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm trying to make sure that the live is up real quick. Says that it is, so hold on, let me see. Yep, it is, and then I can share it to you.
okay.
Share to a page. Share to a page. Let's share to your page. I don't know. I want to share it.
Let's see.
Share to.
And it's sharing your page, right? You're going to launch it off your page?
Yeah.
All right.
I know. I just sent it to you, so hopefully you can get it. Yeah, I think that was it. That just thing.
Yep, that was it.
Anybody got questions?
All right.
See it.
Let's see.
You just gotta mute it now.
I muted now again. My bad. One second.
No. You good.
Let me add this. All right. I think we're good. All right. Let's see. Where did you go?
Lost me.
How about now? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you, but I can still hear the other thing. See?
Oh, that's the delay. You have to turn yourself down on your end.
Oh, really? Okay then.
Yeah, all the way down, or that's what you're gonna hear.
Okay, hold on.
Yep. Patty, you have headphones or no?
Yeah, I can put some headphones on.
Yeah, it'd be good because that's what you're hearing back is the bounce back of that.
Okay, mine might be good now. Hold on.
Yeah, as long as you turn it down, you should be all right.
Yeah,
you can hear me.
Yep, we're good. All right, y'all, it's your girl PJ DAKOTA. This is the Say What Show, and my special guest today, all the way from Barcelona, Spain, is Mr. Frankie Biggz. What up, though, Frankie?
What up? Thanks for having me.
Yes, no, thank you for being on the show, man. Let me fix my thing so I can look like I just ain't a head on the thing. So how's the weather there, first off?
Cold, very, very cold. It's the last couple of days, it's just been on a decline. It went from, in the morning it was 60 and then it's into the 55. And then we wake up this morning and it's 45 degrees. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty cold for here. So
right, that's what I say. Geez, you guys don't normally get that cold over like that.
Not like this, but global warming is fake. So
right, so we don't know why that's happening exactly.
Right. So, anyways, who knows why that's happening? But no, we're getting frozen over here. So
exactly right. Well, welcome to the club because that's normal here in Michigan. You know about Michigan because what? You are originally from here. Everybody
Monroe, Michigan.
He's Monroe, Michigan. Yes, so he's a Michiganer. And do you miss it? Do you miss the States?
No.
No, not at all.
I miss the people there. I miss some of the restaurants, but I don't miss the culture that it's turned into and everything else. No, I'm good right here.
For you.
Yeah.
And I would agree if I could just drop everything and move there instantly, I would. It was simply beautiful there. If anybody out there get a chance to go to Spain, I suggest you do so. It's completely breathtaking. The scenery, the people, the food, everything is to me it's like paradise. I loved it. I'm so glad I came and visited you guys.
I'm glad I lived here. I'm glad that you got to come out here and see it too. It was really cool to have you out here. So
yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So everybody, he is. I'm pushing the wrong thing. He is, so you guys know who he is. I'll let him give himself his little history about what he do, everything. but he is the owner operator of, is this Rama, right? Am I saying it right? Rama?
Rama Music. I'm one of three owners, definitely.
Okay.
Partner. Yep.
He used to be he's a former professor at the Institute of Arts, Barcelona. What did you teach?
I taught music technology and science to
Oh,
college girls.
okay, okay.
Was a bunch of brain work in there. They every one of them was smarter than I could ever imagine to be. So
Really?
it was
Really?
them teaching me. Yeah. It was
Oh, wow. Okay, then.
brains, man. Yeah.
And he's a music producer, songwriter, Grammy Award winner. She's a filmmaker and just everything, man.
Try.
Frank, go ahead, take over, man. Tell them who you are, what it is you do. Bam.
Well,
Where do you start? Where do I start? You're right.
you did it. You said it. No, I mean, it's so I'm originally from a little town called Monroe, Michigan, just a little bit outside of Detroit. I know you're familiar with it, but some folks that over here overseas don't know. So
Yeah.
a little bit outside of Detroit, south of Detroit, north of Toledo, Ohio. And yeah, man, I'm as Monroe, Michigan as it's gonna get. Like I was born right there on Stewart Road at the Old Mercy Memorial Hospital, and didn't move, but maybe ended up about a mile and a half down the street, and pretty much got raised there at this house that we were at forever. My parents are still at. So, yeah, but I got to tell you that I didn't want to stay there either. You know what I mean? I felt like I needed to get out. And so that had been my mission since I was just a young kid, was to see the world, basically. Not that I had a problem with Monroe per se, just
Right.
I just felt like it's got to be more than just Monroe Street, Front Street, and
Right.
I-75. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just always felt like I wanted to venture out, leave, and I did. And I'm happy I did that. It was great.
Now, when you finally started doing your music, did you start there in the States, or did everything start popping off for you once you got to
Yeah, it's more of the credit goes to my parents because they were musicians to begin with. When
Okay.
Before I was born, they were in a band, and my older brother got to kind of see the end of that part of their life. But they had toured with Santana a few times when he would come to, when he come to the Midwest. It's very common for like a single artist like him. Of course, he has a band, and his band was the best band ever. But it was just sometimes cheaper for promoters just to bring the artist, and they would supply a band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my mom and dad's band was called Los Chicanos, and they backed him up, and it was cool. It's a cool history to know that. And later in life, right around 2004, I was at the Grammys in Los Angeles, and the day after the Grammys, there was a BMI party that they had for him.
Nice.
And I wasn't able to go actually inside because I was with some of my friends, but I knew people that were there, just hanging out, and I briefly got to encounter him and say hello. And
nice.
like I wasn't really born when this happened, but you played with my parents, and so, but he remembered the area, and which is a lot because back then they were doing some serious space drugs back there. So
right.
But he's an amazing talent, amazing man, very peaceful. But it was the encounter was very quick, so I never got to sit and chat with him like that. So
now you said that you were at the for the Grammys. How was that? What is that atmosphere? Us upcoming artists or artists that's been doing it for a while, that's our ultimate goal. Get a Grammy, be at the Grammy party, do all that type of stuff. How was a Grammy party?
The Grammy party was really cool, actually. But I noticed right then and there that really the only people that go to Grammy parties are people like me, who that's the first time they've been to the Grammys, and it's part of the package. You know what I mean? You go to the Grammys, So it was downtown LA at some hotel, a really beautiful hotel. I think I may even be right to say it was the same hotel they may have filmed a scene with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he was in a horse, and it
Ah,
bounces out of one of the movies that
yeah.
back in the 80s. But so that hotel was a really beautiful hotel. I got to meet Tyrese and a bunch of people, and I got to hang out with Rico Suave, the guy who was Rico. Now streaming. Hello, Facebook.
Yes, there we go. Wow, guys. What up, it's your girl PJ Dakota. We have some technical difficulties, not sure, and we're gonna pray it does not happen again. Round 2 is always better. So it's your girl PJ Dakota. Once again, everybody, this is my special guest all the way from Barcelona, Spain, Mr. Frankie Biggz.
Yo. What up?
All right, so we're just gonna get straight into what we was talking about. Talking about you and your history.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. So you're gonna edit in the other part, right?
Yeah. So
well, let me just take it from the Grammys.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what we were. We had Grammys, so go for it.
No, man, it was a very unique experience. I have a story, a Grammy story.
Right. All right, I'm ready for it.
Okay, so in the Grammys, they shut the doors to. We were at the Shrine Theater in Los Angeles. So the way it was set up was, you had the red carpet that goes into the front doors of the Grammys that makes an L into the building. And then in front of you, you've got like 3 or 4 floors, and you got people ushering you to the floors.
Okay.
So when you walk in, they tell you, that if you leave, and when they open the doors, it's because they're not taping. But when they're taping, they close the doors. So if they open the doors and you go out, that's pretty much your ass. You know what I mean? You got to wait.
Right.
Right. 15, 20 minutes, whatever the segment is. So
okay. Then got it.
You got to wait there until the doors open. So, and you can't knock on it or anything like that, because obviously it's very quiet. So I had to go to the restroom, man. I was like, I got to go. And I don't care if I get caught outside, whatever. And that's exactly what happened. So I go to the restroom. As I'm coming out, they shut the door, and standing there is this girl in this green dress, and they just shut it on the both of us. And she's like, oh, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And turns around, she's like, what, that sucks, man. And I'm like, yeah. I said, Jesus. I mean, they could have just let you in, because I was far behind. You know what I mean?
She's right
but
there.
They just looked at her and just closed the fucking door on her. And she was just like, what the hell? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I thought, wow, she looked like an artist.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, let's just smoke, I guess. And so she takes out a cigarette. And at that time, I used to smoke cigarettes. So I was like, okay. So, we just out there waiting for them to open up the door, because, the inside, and then it kind of morphs outside and shit. So we were more on the outside of the park. So we're waiting there. And I said, so, like we're just both standing there waiting 15, 20 minutes. So she says, yeah, this sucks, man. I had to go to the bathroom. I said, me too, man. Just a little chit chat, lit her cigarette and everything. And we're just sitting there talking. And she goes, I'm Christine. And I said, I'm Frankie Biggz, man. Nice to meet you. She goes, oh, I'm sorry, Christine Milian. And I'm like, well, fuck. It's like, wow. It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just for like and she didn't stay at that area. Somebody else came around, and I think got her. Yeah. But she was all alone at that point, but she was there enough that we talked a little bit, and I told her what I did and everything else. And it was just very, very chill little, she's not that tall of a person, but I just remember that, she had on this green dress that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Green or blue or whatever. I don't know. I just remember it was neat. And she was just she was pissed off like I was that we got shut out of the Grammys. But it was whatever. There were so many segments. That show lasts a long, long time. But then afterwards we went to the Grammy party. I was telling you about that. And I got to meet some really cool people there, and they had great food. I love food, so I'm a foodie. So they had burritos and tacos. And it was very, very Mexican outfitted. Yeah. And Los Lobos was playing, and I got to see Robert Rodriguez. And later on that night, I ran into Quentin Tarantino. But that was at some famous diner. I didn't know it was famous. I was just hungry for some eggs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I walked in, and there's all these people, and he was there. So but it was very unique, and it wasn't the only time that I had been in Los Angeles. I had also been to a premiere at Man's Chinese Theater around that time too. So that in the early 2000s into probably right around 2006, I was traveling to LA a lot. I was doing a lot of LA stuff. But yeah, and then I just started making the jump over here. So but I'll be back at the Grammys. Yeah, I think they're January 31st. So I'll be flying to the United States to attend the Grammys this year or this
so
coming
you always
year.
get a ticket because you're
No. It's we want to go. My manager, I just signed with a new manager, and so it's part of this, initiative that we go and start to attend these type of things. You know how it goes. It's basically to, but not to mention that I have partners too. Not too many people know that I work with Tommy Davidson, from In Living Color, the comedian. Yeah. So him and I are working on a couple projects with some folks out there in Los Angeles. And so this will give me a good time to kind of come out there and finally meet Tommy, because he was in the Detroit area, and he came to Monroe to my parents' house. And my mom cooked Mexican breakfast for him and everything. So they got to meet him first before I did. So but we've been, because of COVID, we just never got a chance to link up.
Yeah, well, at least you guys
So
are
we've
still
been doing
able to
everything
work, communicating, whatever, even with COVID going on. So congrats on that.
Well, he's so busy too. I mean, he flies all around the world, and and so when we do get to connect, LA time and Barcelona time is 9 hours difference. So I just told him, look, man, just call me anytime. No, I don't want to call you, in the middle of the night. I'm like, just for you, I'll answer the phone. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but nah, man. So that's it, really. So that's me. That's what's been going on in my world as far as that. So
okay. No.
Spider webbed off into different shit.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. So can we say hi to Eva?
Of course. Actually, I would love to talk about Eva. Eva Bucco is my new manager. She happens to be not only an extraordinary young lady, but she is the owner of a very world-renowned cannabis boutique, the Green Boutique. Yeah, they're in the back. There you go. So when you come to Barcelona,
you gotta go to
the Green Boutique. So she is the owner, her and her husband, and they're both just the most wonderful people I've ever met. She is a very caring individual. So we talked, we got along extremely well, and I was just floored because the cannabis industry is very predominantly male industry. So you don't see too many, right? You don't really see, if any, you don't see a lot of women that are in cannabis, and unfortunately the ones who are in cannabis seem to be not appreciated, and you know what I mean, and not taken seriously. Well, Eva is definitely broken through that mold. You know what I mean? There it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it right.
There you go. So Eva's broke through that mold as an owner, dispensary, and Barcelona just recently became the European capital of cannabis.
Wow.
So that's very big for one to be deemed to have that title now here in Spain, and also to be a female in what she owns is just probably one of the most bougiest cannabis clubs you're ever going to be inside. It's just so beautiful in there. So
love
green
it.
and very green.
Yeah.
Everybody there is lovely, and so it made sense. And I'm at the part of my career now where I'm pretty much retired. You know what I mean? I did my thing. But now there's other projects coming, TV projects that are coming, and I've got a catalog of songs and production that I'm placing to movies and soundtracks, right? So it just made sense because, you know, it becomes overwhelming because
yeah,
there's it's you got to create the demand, and then when the demand comes, you've got to feed that frenzy.
deliver it.
And
Yeah.
so there's just comes a point where you know, needing her it made sense. And and it's a big deal to me asking for an artist to go to a manager. That's a big thing to ask one. And it
Then
is
she accepted.
the manager's position at that point to take that product and to, you know, do everything, invest in it and promote it and like care for it and grow it.
Yeah.
And so it takes there's a give and pull, you know what I'm saying? And the artist has got to really let that manager do their thing. So I trust her, you know what I mean? I think she's a really good person, and she knows how to handle business. I'll tell you that.
Man. Oh yeah, you definitely in good hands. And for my listeners, I just missed her when I was there, so I still have it waiting for my opportunity to meet. But just from the conversations we've had, little small texts or whatever back and forth, man, she seems like a great person. And you see her picture, she's like just gorgeous, a beautiful woman.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. She's beautiful.
You can see it in the pictures or whatever. So nah, man, you're in good hands. You're gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be all right because and I appreciate that. And she definitely makes this part of my job easier. You know what I mean? And I think that's the most important thing. So being able to create and not worry about what other things are going on. Haters is a big deal too, because that's what's been that just is weird all the way around. You know what I mean? I guess when you start getting death threats, that's when you know you've done something.
That's when you know you're doing something right. Exactly. That's wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the things we won't say how it got back here, but this item, this hang out with his son, Mr. Rome.
Yes.
And
he bleeds that stuff.
Yes, he does. This is what lives in his veins. But right now, as far as I know, this is the only place, the Green Boutique, is you can get this particular item. I
think in Barcelona, possibly. I'm not too sure how she's got that laid out, but I know that they're definitely in places like Monaco and in Paris.
Yeah, well, that means you definitely got to be open.
Not in the United States. They're not there in the United States yet.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys are very lucky to have that. Yeah.
Only get it there. So, and it's called OG Kush. So, and I was like, well, what's that? And they was like, well, you know, it's infused and Oh, wow, special. So,
well, it's the terpenes is what it is. It's not the actual, but it doesn't matter because it's still, the effect is still there. You know what I mean? So it's very weird to drink that because if you know what edibles are, you know how edibles are. Some people just love edibles.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that love to drink. They like to get drunk.
Yeah.
I have never, ever experienced Rosé Picot because just one glass of that stuff, you're like, wow, man, it hits you. You're like, woo, you know, you kind of feel like, damn, you know, you get buzzed and you think you're about to go there, like you're about to be drunk, and all of a sudden, boom, you just you fly. And then you're like that it feels beautiful, man. It is. Yeah, it's a very unique experience. It's a very unique item, and they'll be selling it in the United States pretty soon. But when you're out here, you gotta try that shit, man. It's amazing. It's amazing product.
Oh, how is the industry different now from when you were like deep into it to where it is now?
Well, how is it different? We're not selling anything. You know what I mean? Back in the days, we, you know, when I jumped onto the scene, we were at records and vinyls and tapes. You know what I mean? And then soon after, CDs came in, and you know, and then it climbed to MP3s, and now we're up to streams. You know what I mean? So the money trail kind of fell off at the CDs. Once CDs became obsolete, you know what I mean? That was that, you know, because basically anybody can burn their stuff on the CD. And so, it hurt all the way around. So it's different that way because there's not a lot of money to be made in selling CDs. Now you have to rely on streams, which is kind of crazy because at least in the music business, when it came to selling records, you understood the model, which was it takes this much money to manufacture this disc, and I need these many discs, and I'm going to sell it for this, you know. So
Yeah.
there's a model to that. Somebody with streams just came up and said, yeah, I want, you know what, they just made their own rules to it. And
Yeah.
so now we don't get paid for shit, you know, for the streams is like 0.19%. It's just stupid. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It basically comes out to, I think I had read that Lady Gaga made $1 million on streams, but it took 1 billion streams
Get
or
to that
something.
amount. Yeah.
To that amount. And so, and you got to figure she's the kind of person that can come in and say, well, listen, I'm Lady Gaga. This is how we're going to do it. This is what
Right.
I'm going to get. This is how
Yeah.
what you going to get. And if you don't like it, I can go to somebody else. So if she's getting that and you do the math to that, it ain't shit. And, you know, I don't care if how big you are or not. If you're Lady Gaga, she's a writer, she's a producer, and she
Yeah.
earned where she got. She does not deserve, she deserves her just due,
Right.
regardless of how well she's done. It doesn't matter. So I apply that to everybody. Everybody deserves to be paid. And that's what we're at a stalemate now.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
you know,
Yeah, and that's true. That's true.
but where you do make your money at, then let me clarify, where you can make your money at and where people are making their money is those streams. And it is also taking on a life form of more of a tangible thing, meaning that your shows, now that COVID is over, there's going to be a demand for shows. You know what I mean? So people are going to be willing to pay for shows, and people are going to be willing to do it. So it's going to kickstart that. So you can make your money there. Merchandising, if you're smart about it, that should be something you always do.
Yeah.
But if you're a producer, songwriter, the best thing that you could do is link up with cats like myself who have a hand in Hollywood. You know what I mean? And have a hand in that arena to be at least able to play songs to movies, TV, or, you know, projects that labels have. You know what I mean? Like, you know, every once in a blue moon, there's a call like Chris Brown is looking for something, or Little Yachty, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's opportunities, and that's key, is being able to write your songs, produce them, and then place them onto records, and let the label do
what they do.
what they do, and you know, you get what you got coming to you, as long as you're smart enough to know the business of it.
Yeah,
so it's just, you can make money. Is it going to be as much money as we were making back then? No. But you could. There's still a lot of millionaires. Kodak Black ain't, you know, I don't like that type of rap because I don't understand it, but it's necessary. And guys like him and Chief Keef and all these gangster rappers, they're still making money.
Yeah.
Outside of the streets, there's still advances. There's still money being made. There's still concerts. Yeah. So yeah, there's money. You just got to work, man. You got to work a little harder. And these kids should be able to do it because they grew up on the internet.
Yeah.
We did not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. We
did not. So we are having the hard time adjusting. But no, kudos to this next generation. They'll do it. They know how to make it. Just lucky cats like me who done made our money back when it was to be made. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I feel for some of the producers now, but they'll get theirs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit more about your label?
Wow, Rama, it's a very historical, not an empty building. There's if you look at it as a big empty building with a few rooms, but the few rooms that we have are rocking. Used to be that building was full of employees and blah, blah. I'm being metaphoric right now.
Yeah, right.
So when I was a young guy, man, I used to have a friend that used to go to Chicago, and I started hearing about house music.
Oh, yeah.
And I really started digging house music. And I was listening to some Detroit ghetto stuff. Ghetto tech is what I hate that word, ghetto tech. But
right.
Detroit funk to me, electro funk. But so I was listening to a lot of that stuff, and it was very techno driven. But I did love the blackness that Chicago had when it came to their house music, because it was to me, it was like gospel music, but just to a 909. You know what I mean? That's what it was.
Isn't that where it started anyway? Was it
Chicago house? Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it was doing its thing, and being that I'm coming from a Latino, half Latino, half black culture, you know what I mean? And that was kind of in our house. It was either Mexican music or black music.
Right.
And rock and roll, because my older brother really liked it. We had a rock band, but for the most part, it was black and Mexican. Right. So I forgot where I was fucking going with this. This is why you don't get high before the
interview. You're talking about Chicago. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, Chicago. So the deal was that one day my friend said he's going to go to Chicago and he's going to tape me some house music that's on the radio.
Okay.
He started bringing me back these mixes from a radio station, I believe, called WGCI.
Okay.
And I started hearing this mix, of all these people. It was one name that kept coming out was DJ Carlos Valderrama. Okay. DJ Cooking Carlos. So I was listening to these mixes, man. He just became my hero because I loved everything that the dude was doing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And so I ended up getting maybe a half dozen of these tapes, and I played them out, just eating up Chicago house music and DJ Carlos. That's who I really liked. My brother gets signed to maybe a few years forward. My brother gets signed to Warner Brothers. He's touring the world, doing his thing. He meets this guy in Puerto Rico by the name of Tony. And Tony tells him, yeah, I work at a label in Chicago called Rama Records.
Oh.
And my brother's like, wow, I've heard that before. You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah. He goes, our founder is this DJ Cooking Carlos. Well, he definitely had heard that because he'd heard me talking about. Right. So he's like, you gotta be kidding me, blah, blah. So he goes, you don't understand. My brother is like a huge fan of this guy. And he's like, yeah, that's my partner. I can't believe it was just so ironic that this happened.
Yeah.
So the day he was going to surprise me, he came back off a tour or whatever he was doing. And he was like, I need you on this day at this time, and I'm like, hey, fuck you. I'm like, you don't tell me what to do. I'm a grown ass man. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, screw you, whatever. I'm going to do whatever I want to do, man. And so he's like, I'm telling you, you want to be here. So I actually was going to do it. I forgot. And when I got there, I saw this BMW taking off and it had Illinois license plates on it.
Oh, man.
So I walk in and my brother's like, you are the dumbest dude in the world, man. Do you know who was just in here? I could smell the cologne. I'm like, who? He's like, it was DJ Cooking Car. I thought I was going to commit death right there.
Right.
I'm like, why couldn't you have just told me what the hell was going on? I wanted to surprise you. I'm like, I'm not good with those surprises, man. Yeah. So it was crazy, but the connection was made, and eventually we started going to Chicago, and I got to see Rama Records. I got to see the very first guard of all that, the A&R people, the artists, the showcases, the Billboard conferences. Yeah. We spent a lot of time with them, and then it went dormant, and house music kind of, well, basically Madonna came out and murdered house music with fucking Vogue. Yep. I mean, that was the money shot because that was so fucking house. It was so New York, Chicago, everything. Like you couldn't get any more house. And it was like the orgasm because how do you beat that? Yep. And so the industry fucking dropped. And so Rama didn't do much. And then I got signed to Universal in like 2004, right about the time I went to the Grammys.
Yeah.
And it was 2006, I believe. We were starting to tour and we were in Miami. And I was about to go out on stage. We were performing at a club there in South Beach. And just as I was making my way to the fucking stage, I see Carlos, who I haven't seen that face in I don't know how long. And I'm like, and the thing was that I was at the point where I was up to here with shit. I'm like, I never wanted to be a rap artist. I didn't sign up to do this shit. I just want to be a fucking producer and
So you're just going through the motions.
Now all of a sudden I've got gold chains and I'm going up to a mic and I'm rocking the stage and I'm like, Jesus, this is not what I wanted to do. Yeah. So when I saw his face, I don't know what happened. I literally grabbed him by the shoulder. He said, hey man. I said, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, I don't know. I came here because I know this woman. I said, bro, I said, you're in Orlando, right? He's like, yeah, but I leave tomorrow. I'm like, you got to come over tonight. He's like, well, I said, I want out. He's like, what? I said, get me the fuck out of this. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Wow.
Help me. This isn't what I wanted. And he's like, I thought about, he told to me, right? He goes, you got to get on stage. He goes, I thought about opening Rama. And I'm like, don't you move. Don't you move. It had been my dream to own that record label, and to be an owner, to be, and to have a piece of history, of house music history. And when he said that to me, I'm telling you, Patty, that was the last performance that I had with Universal and the group that I was in.
Yeah.
And I got off stage, like I literally got off and dropped the fucking mic, like I'm out. We got off stage. Irene was with me, my wife, and I said, man, he goes, look, I'll extend my thing, man. He goes, I'll come by tomorrow. We'll talk. Came by. We were recording my wife's record at that point. We stopped the whole session and we talked all night. And I said, I want out, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like I got the studio. He's like, well, I have distribution through Sony Music and blah. I mean, it all just fucking just came back together.
Awesome. So I'm glad I asked. I'm so glad I asked. That's an awesome story, dude.
And then I won a Grammy, and that was just fucking that really helped our company a lot, because that came out of nowhere, and it just boosted my career in a way that was amazing, and thank the Lord for that.
Yeah, awesome, man. Okay, man, that's awesome story. I'm so glad
God's been good to me. He has been good to me. Yes.
Now, when I was there, I always love everybody's studio. Everybody's studio is always different setup or whatever. What gravitated you toward the equipment that you were using? Because some of it was older equipment, up to date. You used a mixture of everything. What do you look for? You like, because to me, some of these sounds are just regurgitated from back in the day and just put into a new box type of thing. But what do you look for?
The very first thing I look for is the platform that I use. So I'm using Pro Tools. Okay. And it's the output of the program, how much output is being, how loud it is, how clear it is, how much headroom you have. Okay. With Max, you're not dealing with a lot of headroom, meaning you can get really good masters and you can get it to be very loud. But PCs are, at 64-bit, 120. I mean, they go on and on and on and on. So the power behind a PC as far as their output is punchy. So now, however, Mac's been really good about being able to get that kind of power. And so what I look for first is that sound. It's got to be, to me, and these headphones I'm using, because I'm endorsed by Olo. These are actually mix and master headphones, so you get to hear the truth. Yeah. So I that's what I look for, because I know what I want to hear, and I know how it's going to translate through dance floor speakers or through concert speakers. Okay. You know what I mean? Just by the sound. It's just experience of with these sounds. So I that's kind of what I look for in a program that has these sounds, is how clear they are, how loud they are without clipping. That's my thing. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. What do you look for in an artist when you're working with artists?
The unicorn.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that there's got to be the unicorn fact. It's hard these days because I don't have the liberty to just pick and choose like projects that I'm going to put time into and invest my time into. Right. Because now at this point in my career, the things that I do are a little more expensive than most producers. Mm-hmm. And that kind of money and that kind of level comes with people, whether you want it or not. You know what I mean? Right. Managers, consultants, blah, 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 blah. Right. And people who are also part of your business. So I can't just walk around and go, I want to work with you and come on, let's do a bunch of free production. It just never happens that way. Exactly. You know what I mean? But if I do find something, it has to be a unicorn. Like, so there's a kid that I'm working with right now in Florida named Jason Macklin. Okay. He is a unicorn. This kid this man is just probably one of the best singers that I've heard male wise when it comes to like, he is as good as well, he's as good as any one of these dudes. His turns are amazing. This guy is cool. So, he's somebody that I'm working with, and we definitely we're just, some artists just need a little more time and space, you know what I mean? Because they're so good at what they do that it takes a little time. And then you have Dahlia Chi, who she's a huge celebrity. And I've been producing her since she's been about 14, I think.
Okay.
14 or 15, since she's a little girl. Now she's, 23, 24 years old.
Right.
But so yeah, I mean, and even with her, it's she was a unicorn. She was already famous when she came to me. You know what I mean? There was already, she was already on TV doing everything. So I didn't really do anything for her, except I think was able to just work with her or when she needed an idea, because we clicked just at a young age. She was right here with me, like just musically. Yeah. And so she was on it because she's an anomaly. She's amazing at anything and everything that she does. You know what I mean? So yeah, and she's somebody that I've helped develop. I mean, obviously her manager is in Paris and he has done a phenomenal job at that. But before him, I did the best I could with what she has already done for herself. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people are like, you should take more credit for her. I'm like, no, man, because I'm only going to take credit where credit's due. I mean, if I had made her and discovered her, it'd be a different story, but I did not.
Right.
I did not. This little girl showed up in Monroe, Michigan, of all places, big international star. She showed up there on her own. You know what I mean? She showed up there because she got to where she was at. So yeah, I'm very proud of her for that. So that's the unicorn factor. It's not too many unicorns, but I'm looking.
True. Now, your son, Mr. Rome.
Yes, that's a whole other stratosphere of unicorns there.
Exactly. Now he has a new song out. And you did the video. Can we talk about it?
I did the production and the video, pretty much everything, except for the direction, which was Alex Conner. Okay. And then my son had a lot more to do with this than normally does. He already knew, he had the vision in his mind about how he wanted this to look. Okay. Because every film guy has his own style. I like using black and white on things because I like to separate fact from fiction in that way, or A and B. You know what I mean? I think that the contrast between black and white and using color like that, I think it engages the audience a little more. And I also like flipping my colors. So I'm very known to do that when it comes to my music videos. Okay. And this time he's like, I really want color. I want quit fucking with my colors. Right. You know what I mean? You go black and white every time. Right. And it's true. It's easy to go black and white because you're just trying to floss over. You're like, man, it looked better when it's black and white because it's all together. But when it's colors, it's harder. Yeah. So you get lazy like my ass. I'm like, well, I should go black and white. So he was very adamant, like, I don't want you to fuck with my colors, man. I want good colors. And plus it was done at the Green Boutique, which is already green. You know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, homie. But still, I'm gonna do some black and white shit because that's my signature shit, man. But he had it in his mind. But he wanted this girl at the end to be very devilish and so it was kind of like, okay, so the mask idea, and it was crazy because of all places where I live in Barcelona now. I used to live downtown, but where I live now is kind of adjacent. It's a little bit about maybe 3 miles away from downtown. So this little pueblo, this little area has life, but out of all things, and it's very old around here, there's this costume, this very odd costume shop that I see every day. I said, let's go down there and just see if we can pick out a mask. Yeah. So we went up there. It's very weird. You walk in like it's been there forever. Right. I mean, there's just costumes and stuff like dating back from the 40s. Like it is just this unbelievable little shop. Right. And we're looking at these. What we were going to get the teddy bear that the mouth opens up. Oh, okay. Yeah. Believe it or not, we were actually going to go with the killer teddy bear where it looks real, and it goes, So we were like, we had it. We were like, yeah. And we found one that was gray and black, and it looked really crazy.
Mhm.
And so I'm walking around. I said, yeah, I can see this, you know, it gets the
Yeah.
green and everything. And all of a sudden, man, he just pulls this mask out, the SPC 049 mask. And
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, I knew it. Like,
And it was the
Wouldn't have been
only one, and it was under some shit. Like it
Yeah,
was
like,
under,
it-
like it was
yeah.
way down there. Like it wasn't even displayed. I don't even know
Yeah.
how it called to him,
Yeah.
but he brought it out and he's like, what do you think of this? And I'm like, over.
Yeah.
What do I think of
Done,
that?
yeah.
I'm looking at this mask like, man, it was beautifully made.
Yeah.
I don't even know why it would be considered, literally why it would be a costume item,
Yeah.
because even the wrapping paper was all fucked up and everything. And when we took it over to the lady, she kind of looked at it like, you know, she kind of had to like, I think she guessed the price or something. She's like, yeah, whatever.
There you go. Yeah, right.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. Fuck that got up there. So
Hey, I got over on them.
shit
Right.
followed you guys. I saw that shit floating with you.
Yeah,
So
right.
I don't know how it happened, but we got it. And then we showed Eva, and Eva was like, yes, that's it. You know, because, you know, she's the one, she's the one of the executive producers of it, obviously, because we used her play. So it's gotta be. So we shot with it. The model came in and she did an amazing job. Her and Alex just dialed in, man. They dialed in and they got it. And that was it. And now today that mask sits at the Green Boutique in this awesome little frame
display. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's dope.
It is dope, man. That's history, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's some historic shit. So the video turned out really well, and yeah, it was crazy. And we got it was crazy because we got some really good feedback, and yeah, and then we started getting the hater feedback too, but we're like, yeah, that's cool though. You know, it's all right because not everything's perfect.
That meant
You know
they
what I
watched
mean?
it. So yeah, oh yeah.
They watched it, and it is what it is. We're very happy with it.
Yeah,
We're very
I like
happy
it.
with it.
So I'm telling
The
everybody.
next video is gonna every video that I'm doing with Rome is got to be basically he's gonna end up in space if it has anything to do with if I keep this up, I'm launching my own kid into space. It's happening.
That is so funny.
Yeah, he's gonna go. His ass gonna go. Well, that means I have to go too because I'm gonna have to film him up there. But that's I don't know where else we go. I mean, we're gonna do the next one. We want to do it underwater. Believe it or not, we've been talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see. It's fun to be able to do this type of shit, man. It's just stuff that we only dreamed of doing, and now we have a chance to do it. So
oh yeah, do it.
He's gonna be moving here, right?
Yes, I saw that. He was telling me, like, somebody tell you something, I'm done doing the hair thing and did that and whatever. We're gonna move there. And we was trying to do it. I like it enough to want to move there too. But then a month later, he was shop is closing. I was like, he was dead serious. So yeah. I'm gonna miss him.
It's man, the thing is I'm a little jealous of him because I've been here a total of 15 years, and a good 10 of those years have been full-time, right? Mm-hmm. But in that time, man, I've lived in two places. We finally bought this house, and buying houses is not an easy thing. If anybody knows that shit, it is hard and it's stressful. And and we looked at I don't know how many houses within a year. We were every week we were doing it, and so we get this house, and that by itself is a unique story. But most of these properties are very old. You know what I mean? They've been redone, so you got to get in there and really check it out. So we found this place. It was dope. We did it, right?
Right.
This dude comes, and it just so happens that up the street is this hellacious mall, huge mall that actually has a residence inside of the mall.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And this mall is like, what the equivalent of Fairlane Mall, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that Fairlane Mall is a big ass mall.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah.
Take two of those malls, put them together, and stick a resident high rise like
in the middle of it or whatever.
In the middle of it all, right?
Oh, wow.
You got everything. You got all the shops. You got. I mean, you literally open your door. You go down into the thing, and it opens up into the fucking mall. Okay. Not only that, you got the police station next door. You got a hospital right behind you. Right. So this is like prime area, and my son comes walking in and gets it. Boom.
Wow. Right.
I'm like, fuck, are you kidding me? This place is, oh my God, it's got a pool at the top. It looks over the Barcelona. It's
Oh
got a hot tub.
man,
It's got all
dude.
these beautiful ass amenities. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there looking at this dude like, hey
What
man,
the hell?
fucking do that.
Right.
This is the place I wanted to live.
Right. Oh
Not that
man.
I'm dissing my house or anything, but
No
I'm just like,
doubt.
how are you
But
gonna just walk in like just, willy
on a
nilly all of a
visit.
sudden?
Yeah, on a visit. Yeah.
Oh man. So I told my wife, we actually went there this morning. I told my
Okay.
wife, I said, you realize when we were walking in the mall, I said, hey, you realize that when he moves here, this gonna be my new hangout spot.
Oh, all day.
They got, I mean, imagine that. I'd hang out at Fairlane Mall if I
Right.
could on the
Yeah.
weekends and go to
Yeah.
Olive Garden and Olga's and all that shit.
Yeah.
Man, that
I
boy's got me
know.
twisted. I was like, man, that's crazy. But I'm proud of him. He worked hard for it.
Yes, he did.
And by the
Aw.
way, a lot of people, I want to dispel something. A lot of people, I hear some shit, oh, he wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for me. No, man, that's not true. I'm not saying I'm a bad dad. I'm not a bad dad
No,
at
not at
all.
all. Right.
But a lot of people think that I hand him shit. I'm like, no, man, that he did that.
Yes.
He did that on his own, man. He got that shop going.
Okay.
He built that on his own. He did it. Yes, my parents were there to help him, but that was him, man. You know what I mean? He did it. And the career, yeah, I'm here to produce his music, but I'm not the only producer in the game. And he can use any director or producer he wants. He doesn't have to use his old man every time.
Right.
But he's doing his own thing. And I'm proud of him, proud of him for what he's doing.
Yeah.
And
I was talking to him.
I can't wait for him to be here because I'm gonna finally have somebody to be here.
Right. No doubt. We
Yeah.
were talking. I went by and hung out with him one day, and we watched like 5-10 videos of just Barcelona. And it was Barcelona at nighttime, Barcelona in the summertime. It was like, but it was just like, and we got to talk about the schools, the college there. And I said, you know what? I was that impressed that it's worth moving there. And he was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. I said, I got some things I got to handle here first. Let me take care of them. And but I didn't know how serious he was. And he was like, yeah, a group of us, we're going there. And I'm like, get out. So yeah, you might have him and me there. So yeah.
But it's just I guess you can say for me, it's more of accepting society here, altogether. Just everybody, no one really cares. And if you see a group of guys, you know what I mean, young kids acting rowdy, we assume that that's going to turn into some problems. People get very defensive of that. And the truth is that I've never had a problem with any of these kids. Everybody seems to be respectful. I mean, kids are going to be kids and they're going to talk shit and do shit, but it's just I've never seen like person for person, there's never been any problems. You know what I mean? Like I have never had problems that I couldn't handle. I mean, I've run into some idiots out here and I've had to remind them what Detroit is all about, but
right.
Very far and few, but I've had to make my point, but nothing compared to what I have been through being there. And so for me having PTSD and just having, not the best life coming up, it's very peaceful.
It's very peaceful.
Yeah.
It's
and I can smoke weed here too. You know what I mean? No one cares. I can go outside and smoke if I want to. I have never been harassed by cops. In fact, the only cops that have seen me smoke have either one asked if I had any more that they could buy. I'm not shitting you. The other was if just to keep walking, like not to stop and smoke. They don't want you to stop and smoke. So as long as you're walking, that's not the law. They can bust you, and it's still illegal, I guess, to do it. But they just don't want you to be obnoxious about it, basically. So so it's good to me. I'm very peaceful. I'm at peace here, and I get more work done.
Oh yes, I can imagine. Now, are you involved with any of the boxing cats down here that they've been supporting?
I know that D Mills and Matt. Well, how do you say Matt's last name?
Child, about to ask you.
Hang on. Let me check.
Let me see. Yeah, I was just looking at it. He just had a
Matt, because I want to give him out.
Yeah. He just had a second fight.
Matthew Nizolik.
Yeah.
Matt Nizolik.
Yeah, I think that's how you said it. Yeah.
Yeah. I met the guy, so he's a really cool dude. And his right hand dude, Frankie Twist. That's my man right there.
Oh,
That's my
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Listen, shout out to both those fighters because they're beating people up left and right and just kicking ass. There's definitely I do know some folks in that game, and when the time is right, with these guys and I get the right materials, they're definitely going to those contacts. I want to do as much as I can. I'm not really into the whole fight game like that. I mean, I box and I have boxed before, but we're talking about just to get in shape. I mean, my little poo, you know what I mean? These boys are far, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, oh, this is gonna strengthen my arms. So, but for the most part, I'm real proud of them, and the fact that they're Monroe again, man. There's boxing greats. I mean, Bronco McCart was doing his thing too. He's from Monroe, boxing. Got signed to Sugar Ray Leonard and all that back in the days.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm down to help, however, man. Shit. I mean, we've got these hotels out here that we've been talking about bringing some of these bigger fights to.
Nice.
Yeah, we wanted you to go to that one party we had at the Miramar Hotel.
I know. I wanted to go. Yeah.
So these fellows own the Miramar and they own another big prestigious hotel in the mountains, but we'd like to. I mean, it's new for me because I don't know anything about it, but I do know at least we've got some really good talent there. To
bring it. Yeah, to bring the crowd. Definitely. Yep.
I mean, bring these boys out here. So we'll work. It's in the working. Hopefully it happens.
Yes. What other goals do you have planned now? Because you talked about your history. We know what you're doing right now. What's your goals?
My goals.
What?
My goal.
Yeah.
My goal. Is that you want my goal?
Yeah.
End all be all, end the game goal.
For sure.
Okay. My goal is I want to create programs for instance, I'm creating a program called Catch Up. Okay. And what it is there are a lot of women who are moms who are single or going through turmoil. Yeah. And on paper, it looks like they make money, right? But in reality, they're sinking. Yeah. And a lot of these women are by themselves. You know what I mean? They're taking care of these children by themselves. Right. So I want to create a program where we take such a person who's struggling and is making money, but just not enough to be able to keep her afloat. Right. I would like to create a program where those bills are paid for 6 months. And while she is working, the money she's making is being put into an account. She's not touching that. Meanwhile, we're doing this so that she has 6 months of income saved in her account. Okay. So at the end of 6 months, she now has 6 months worth of her income sitting in her account, all her bills paid up. Nice. And that's why I call it the catch-up program, because then that catches her up. Because what happens is that there are a lot of women who get caught in this gap where they're silenced just by the fact that they're of where they are in life right now, because they're not making enough money. Okay. But the government says they are, you know what I mean? Right. So they got to take care of these kids. So it's basically, if you do that, I believe that we're missing a great pool of talent that could save our world. You know what I'm saying? Like there are a lot of women out there who, they had a chance to be able to catch up with their bills and go to school and be able to do the things that they want to do, instead of being nailed to a job where they have to work and they've got to raise these kids, and they leave no time for themselves. So in this way, it's not just the program that financially catches them up, but it's also an incentive for maybe a review of what kind of work they're doing. Maybe we could further along, maybe some studies, maybe there's some grants, or there's some other outlets to help this young lady in her situation with these kids. And so that we don't lose women like this to suicide, to opioids, to stress, to, you know what I mean? To just mental illness. I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to create one such program that helps like that. And then really, really focus a lot too on autism and children with autism that are autistic, and try to really get our hands around that, how to learn from it, how to cure it, how to do that. I mean, ultimately, that's what I want to do. And I would love to own a hospital that just, like a cannabis hospital. Don't charge anything. Just, I mean, I have these ideas basically. And the whole idea is that, sure, the money, the music, the fame, and all the Hollywood crap, that's all good and shit. But really my focus is, once I have all that stuff in check like that, and it's in queue, you got to be able to parlay that into saving the world somehow. You got to help people. You got to help people, man. You gotta. And that's my big thing, is that. That's why I'm in the cannabis industry, because I believe that's key.
Like an avenue to make that happen. Yes, I agree.
I'm sorry to sound like a big grand nerd, but that's just me.
No, that's fine. That's fine. And add to your nerdness, you're a DJ.
Yeah,
man. One at that. I see you.
Thank you.
One of the tools, man. How long you been doing that? About the same time?
DJ. Yeah, I've been doing DJ since I've been about 16, 17, man. Just learning how to scratch and just applying, like, me being a musician to DJing. It's very fun. I love doing it. It's very therapeutic, you know.
Now, do you miss doing the actual wax with the records?
I'll always miss that. Always miss that. That director that directed my son's last video, Alex, he's got like over 1,800 vinyls at his place, and he's got real record players, and like his thing is that he just loves to take the record out of the sleeve, smell it. You know what I mean? Stick it on the platter. This just fucking. But I mean, that's, now you appreciate that. Like, it's just like the music. You appreciate like older music. I was not an NSYNC fan or Backstreet Boys or anything like that, right? In fact, when that music was happening, I was on the bandwagon of dissing it. Oh man, blah, blah, blah. I would have fucking loved to have played songs or production to it, but since I wasn't, I was gonna go ahead and hate on it and say it wasn't. Right. So it's just being a dumb guy. Right. Now I listen to that stuff and I'm like, man, oh, you people, can't you see? Yeah. That shit's dope. I'm sorry, this shit is dope now, man. What was I thinking?
Welcome, exactly. We'll allow you to come in. We know you're a little late with it, but welcome.
I mean, compared to what I hear now, man, it's just
okay. It sounds brand new, don't it? Yes. Yeah,
man. It still freaks me out when people, when some of these I've had rappers in here, they don't know who Tupac Shakur is. I don't know what to do at that point, man. Are you serious?
Did you just see my jaw drop? What?
Yeah, but they don't know.
Wow, that's crazy.
No idea. And you should see the reactions when I start playing some of his shit too. They're like, Jesus, like, you didn't know about this? That shit was
right.
Boy, that's how we used to get down.
Exactly.
Shit.
If I don't know if it's Irene, right?
Yeah.
If she's watching, tell her, what up now, Irene? How you doing, girl?
I know she's watching. She's giving me notes.
Oh yeah.
Quit touching her.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you did a good job, Irene. I think you did a good job.
You did all right. 1 out of 10, it was about 6. But it's okay. You've had better times.
Right.
He'd be more like, you talk a lot of shit. Oh my God.
I think it was a good interview. If you could give upcoming artists some encouraging words or anything, any type of advice, what would you say?
Find a different job. No.
Damn.
No, I'm just joking. Don't do it.
Right. Run.
Well, okay, I say it like this. If you're an artist and you don't have any commitments other than the one that you should be making to your music, then I say go for it. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let no man stop you. Don't let no woman stop you. Don't let any of that stop. However, if you're an artist and you have a child, your child comes first. Okay?
Yeah.
And I say that because I encounter a lot of that. And for those people, I say, don't give up your dream. Just, your kid comes first. Don't neglect your kid because you're trying to be the next Eminem or something like that. Like,
right.
That's got to be separate. Like, your family's got to be first. It's got to be separate, but don't stop what you're doing and make the commitment. You're just making double commitment. You
Yeah.
got to be committed equally, and one cannot suffer
Time
because
and
of
where
the
it
other.
needs to go. Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's how I did it. And even through, I have two boys, you know, I have Rome and I have Lewis, and
Okay.
through them it was hard, you know, and thank God my parents were there to help, because, you know, fortunately we were not able to rely on the other half. So it was
Right.
really just left up to my parents and myself, but more my parents, because I was a young kid when Rome was,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I was
Right.
just 18 years old.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah. So
luckily I've got great parents that really stepped in and really did an amazing job. Without them, none of this would be possible. Rome would not be Rome. Let's just say that.
Right. Right.
So, but yeah, I say just keep going, man. Make the commitment. Don't let anything stop you. And if, as long as you make that commitment, don't do anything that's going to stop that commitment. Like, don't
Yeah.
get into trouble. Don't.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of that happening. It's horrible, because these people are good people, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I quit my job so I can be a rapper. Why?
Why? Exactly.
Don't do that, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially not during these times.
Don't quit. I mean, that's what they hear all the time. Don't quit, don't quit. But I'd rather just tell you, is it going to be fucking hard? Yeah, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
You're going to suffer. You're going to cry.
Yeah.
You're going to get pissed off. You're going to want to beat people's asses. You may beat a few people. You may catch a case in this
True.
music.
True.
There's no doubt that I have thrown hands and caught a
Yeah.
case or two, or could have. Let's just say I got lucky,
Yeah.
because it's just an emotional industry, and artists are emotional people. And if you fuck around too hard with one of these people, they may
Yeah.
snap on your ass.
So
They're not right.
yeah.
We're not right to begin with to be artists.
Exactly.
So it's not good to go through that. But that's all I say is just don't stop. That's it. Don't care. Just whatever anybody says, you know. And my only advice too is new artists, don't show your work. Don't show your work until it's done.
Okay.
Unless you're showing somebody a demo for a reason and they're helping you for some reason or whatever, but just chilling, showing your friends a new track that you just recorded, that shit ain't done. If it ain't mixed and mastered, don't fucking show it, man. You never show unfinished work, because then when that song gets done, they've already heard it.
Ah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And they heard a shitty version of it. Now they don't hear the
Right.
done version. They don't care to hear
They
the
don't
done
even
version.
care. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's all I can say is keep your work to yourself until it's time to release it.
Okay. Okay.
And that's hard to do, because I fail at that too. I'm not perfect. I do. Sometimes I'm like, I gotta post this now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
I
my
know
wife's
some-
like, oh my God, the fuck are you doing? I'm like,
Right.
no, I can't help it.
They gotta
I
hear it.
need
They gotta-
attention. I need the likes. I need to
Oh,
look
no.
famous. Come on. It's true. I was being real with it. You got to check yourself. Like, ego needs to shut down. Stop. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
in due time, you do time. But I go through mistakes too. I go through that shit too. I'm human.
Yeah.
So-
No. Thank you for sharing.
And I like making fun of myself, because I'm a dumbass sometimes. And sometimes I just go, self, what
Right.
the hell did you just say and do?
No, but I'm glad that you're saying that and showing that, because people they don't want people to see the flaws, but that's the makeup of who we are. That's what makes us, are those flaws.
No, man. For as smart as I am, I'm a fucking dummy. I'm telling you. It's like it's A and B. A, smart, B, dumb ass. You know what I mean? Like there's really no, I don't really rest between them. It's just kind of like, you know, I'm great at some shit and other stuff I'm not. You know what I mean? So, but I admit it because I don't want to have an ego about it. And I just think that it's better to be humble, to be happy,
for sure.
and just to tell the truth more than anything, because
yeah.
we've all been caught up in lies. Shit.
You got any shout outs?
Man, shout out to Monroe. Shout out to Matt Nizolik, and to D Mills, man, and that whole crew out there, Monroe, the boxing crew, man, all them cats, man. Lucio family, Abelo's family, your family, our family, the family here, Eve Bucco, my manager, so proud to be with her. Marjeline, that is her partner in this too. basically Team Frankie Biggz, man. People that make up that, and Carlos Valderrama, my partner, my hero, Ramo Music. Yeah, man. So this ain't it. There's a lot of people like everybody's leaving to Spain. I'm like, nah, man. We're the idea is we're just trying to bridge a gap between, you know what I mean, between Michigan and Spain, because there's a lot of talent there, and we just want to kind of start sharing. So, yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for being on my show. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we got through it. And cool. And man, you shared some great information, some great stories. I feel like I know you even a little bit more now, so I'm glad I got you on the show. And I'll definitely be back out there in Spain to do some more work. And so everybody, if y'all don't know who Frankie Biggz, y'all need to go and Google that, get some more information. He got some great stuff he wasn't even able to talk about, that y'all gonna see real soon. And you'll be like, oh, we saw him on Facebook.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got a big surprise coming, and a lot of people are like, what's happening? I'm like, it's about to drop on you guys. And I wish I could talk about it, but I'll just say that pretty soon you're gonna see me everywhere. Even if you like it or not, you're gonna see this dude.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. So it was great. Thank you for the invite.
Yes, thank you. And we'll stay in touch, man.
What's that?
I said, and we'll stay in touch, man. You gotta come back on the show later on.
Yes, and Merry Christmas to you guys out there. The next holler. Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. You guys be safe.
Yes, you too, man. Hope y'all don't get no snow.
Oh, we won't. But you will.
I know, we will.
You guys will.
All right,
Peace,
see you guys later. Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Undestructible, Michigan impossible, parallel to incredible, physically untouchable, physically unobtainable, impossible, incredible, untouchable, undestructible.
You can do what you like in the lyrics that I've been spitting, the bitches that I've been thinking I'm representing, admitting the soul.